Hi everyone. In this short video, we're going to take a look at how to recognize and look for characteristics to determine if a book is scholarly to meet some of the requirements that you may have for the research paper assignment for Card 101. So we've jumped right into Cardinal Search. I am logged in as myself, obviously, so I can have full access to the features of Cardinal Search. I've also used the Articles, Books, and More feature just because I wanted to start broadly. But over here in the refining options, I did choose books as the resource type, and I changed the sort by option to date newest. Because if you remember from our videos from earlier, when I'm looking for books related to a topic, I do usually like to see what the most recent content is, just to have a sense of where the conversation is at this moment or in the past couple of years. So we've gotten those parameters set. And then the other couple of things that we could do, if you really, really wanted to, you could say, under limit to, let me see only the books that are held by Osterley Library, if you wanted to have the option to have a book be ready for you more quickly than if you requested it from another library. Because just as a reminder, our book requesting service through the iShare program is taking somewhere between 1 and 2 weeks for the books to be ready for you to be picked up due to the quarantine procedures that we have in place to keep everyone who handles the books, including you, as safe as possible. So just know that there's a little bit of a delay. So if you are thinking about preparing for your research paper and you know that you need some sort of book content as one of your required sources, you might want to request sooner rather than later, even if your project and your topic is still developing. You want to make sure you have those options that are on the way. So just generally, those are some suggestions. But if we're wanting to make sure that the book that we are interested in using meets those scholarly requirements, there are a couple of things that we want to make sure to check on. And those two things are the author's expertise in the particular subject area that the book is about, as well as who the publisher is. There are many academic publishers throughout the world. A good rule of thumb is if you see a book published by a university press, that is probably pushing us on the way to thinking that the content will meet the requirements of your professors. But it's not a given. So we do want to look at the publisher and the author's expertise. And here are some ways that we could do that using Cardinal Search, the results list, to see what we have. So if we were to take a look at any of these titles, any of these books, I'll choose this first one, or I'm sorry, the third one, Interpreting Films, Studies in the Historical Reception of American Cinema. If we click on that title and open the record, we can get the information for the particular item where we can say, okay, the publisher is Princeton University Press. So like I said, a university press, that's a good indicator. The author is Janet Stager, and we don't get a lot of other information in this particular moment. So one of the things that I would encourage you to do, and it feels like an extra step, but it's a necessary one if you are wanting to make sure you're meeting the requirements of your assignment, is to just Google the author. What is that? What is Janet Stager's area of expertise? Does she have advanced degrees in film studies or something related to the topic presented in this book? If so, then knowing her expertise and knowing that it was published by a university press are good indicators that you can feel confident about what is being shared with you in this book, that it has some basis in expertise and accuracy. So that is always a nice thing to look for. I will say though, in understanding what publishing houses are considered academic, that is not something that anyone expects you to have memorized, unless that's a hobby for you. And if that's the case, then yay, you already are a step ahead. But if you've never really even thought about publishing houses and what type of resources they might actually put out into the world, that's totally fine. I'm just telling you, university presses are a good place to start. I'm also going to add a short list of some other common academic presses or publishers that you may see in our collections, just so you can have that list kind of in the back of your brain to be like, oh yeah, Routledge is another one, or Wiley. So I'll put those on the Card 101 course guide as well for you to be able to find. So in thinking about looking for books that are scholarly, we always want to take a look to see author's expertise and who the publisher is. And then also another nice thing is once you have the book, if you can look at the back and see, is there a pretty comprehensive references section to show that they've cited other sources in their research? Is there a notes section where they're kind of piecing out and explaining some of the other details that they mentioned in some of the chapters? It requires more explanation or for more understanding. But that's what you want to look for, the author's expertise and an academic publisher when you're looking for scholarly books.